We are two guys, one cup.
It is Sunday, August the 16th. Everyone relax because this is Two Guys, One Cup, an AFL adjacent podcast. And my name is Will Anderson.
And my name is Charlie Clausen. And thank God this slow, wet fart of a season for Saints fans ends in the most St Kilda way possible. Like, if this was some kind of monkey paw situation, a genie has appeared to a Saints fan and said, I'll grant you one wish. Okay. And they're like, oh, whatever happens tomorrow, don't let Carlton win. And the Saints like, you got it, mate. You got it. And in his head, he's like, you dickhead. I just was so excited. Like, I was more excited for this game between the Dogs and the Blues than I've been for any. This is how bad the Saints year has been. This was the most exciting game I watched all season. I was cheering for Ed Richards like he was my own son. At one point, I thought Ed Richards might be a Saints fan. He was playing that well today.
Okay, so why? I mean, obviously, the St Kilda's season, like the possibility of making the wild card was on the line, but Naz is out. Like, you're not.
Oh, we would have done nothing. We would have got
yeah.
pumped by 10 goals. Even we still have to beat the Gold Coast.
So what's the
week.
point? This is a mercy killing, is what I would actually say. This is putting you out of your misery. Like, why stretch it out for a few more weeks? Like,
but it's
I wish there was a way the Bulldogs could miss the wild card.
But I wasn't put out of my misery. Put out of the misery would Carlton be jumping out to a 10-goal lead. This is what the Saints and things associated with being a Saints fan do to you. They make you endure it to the very last minute to then just give you the bird and say, fuck you. Did you think you were going to have some positivity this week? Fuck you. Did you think you were going to have some hope? Fuck you.
So you think that the Carlton tying with the Bulldogs and therefore meaning that they are in the wildcard round and GWS and St Kilda can't be in the wildcard round, you take that as a personal insult to St Kilda. Like today's result was almost orchestrated because the Bulldogs had nothing to gain in this game, right? Like it didn't matter if we lost because we're just locked into, we're trapped in the wildcard round, or Bevo is playing. Let's just believe. Let's just believe
the longest game of bottom boys.
I mean, it would be the ultimate like vindication of bottom boys if we could come from 10th and
can you
just
imagine
go
that?
All the way.
Like, you qualify for finals. Let's say you win the wild card. You qualify for finals, and then like the wrestling, fucking Sam Darcy makes a fucking comeback. Like, what comes out on crutches, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so sad. He's still on crutches," but then throws him to the side. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I mean, here's what I would say: like, if Bevo,
Sam Darcy never did his knee. That's my conspiracy.
It hasn't happened. It's been a long con.
Bevo, it's the moon landing.
Yeah,
Bevo's fucking faked it, used visual effects to make it look like Sam Darcy did his knee, just so he could get the team right to the very bottom of the wild card.
Well, is there a world in which he needs to see that we're good, right? So for the first 4 rounds, we play at our best. And then he's like, well, we can't keep going at this level for the rest of the season. We saw what happened to Adelaide last season, right? You don't want to be the front runners. This could be Freo this season. And what Bevo's been, because like everybody tries to work out the game plan of the people who are out in front. But you know who nobody's looking at the game plan of?
The people
Bevo's bottom boys.
In an expanded finals competition.
People who finished 10th by losing their last 8 games in a row to limp into the wild card somehow. Like, it is, if this is the greatest long con, like if Darcy hasn't done his knee, if English isn't out for the rest of the season, like if these have all just been...
Bond's fine. Bond just wanted to do a shift at his cafe. Yeah. He just got a double shift booked for Sunday. I'd love to, Bevo, but the people need lattes.
If this has been the greatest I mean, it would be the greatest heist in football history. This would be like the people who, robbed the Louvre, right? Like, this is, if he could win it from 10th in the first year that they have it. Like, maybe he's one of those guys, like, when it comes to the internet, where, it's been proven that the more we see, like, in our era, the mere hint of suggestiveness, like in the media, would be enough for you to be like, that's quite spicy. But with porn and like sex just like everywhere, you're desensitized to it. And so scenarios become more and more extreme. Is there a chance that after winning from 7th, like by having to go on the road like, to beat every other team on the road. That's the only Bevo realised halfway through the third quarter in 2021 that it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I need to do this like from down the bottom. I'm a bottom boy,
and
I just don't enjoy it when I'm on the top.
Yeah, I need the journalists to be taking pot shots at me. I need speculation around my future at the Bulldogs. And I need my star players to be chronically injured. And then
that's how
my juices really get
sweet
flowing.
Spot. I'm ready to go. I mean, Bob Murphy was our big injury, obviously, in the 2016 year. It is a similar, but I mean, imagine. Like, I reckon Bob Murphy should give the medal back if Bevo wins this one. He should walk up on grand final day as they're presenting the trophy and hand the medal back.
Well, the Dogs actually looked good today. Like, Carlton are an informed team, and everyone's been
the most informed
ragging
team in the competition, apart from Freo, right? Like over the last 12 or 13 rounds.
And I think most people thought going into this weekend's games that this would probably be like Carlton would have been favourites. And I was thinking like a 4-goal, 5-goal win to Carlton. They've just been so powerful. But the Dogs
we didn't play
backline,
Bontempelli.
No Bontempelli, no Tim English.
No Bontempelli, no Tim English. One of those we chose, and one of them is
Kennedy rucking at one point. What's going on there?
Well, because the problem is often when Tim English isn't there to ruck, we get Bont to ruck. So both of our ruckmen were out.
Yeah, right.
It's like Darcy's down. It is bad news bears at the Bulldogs. This is proper. This isn't the Kane Corns Bulldogs going. I mean, and most likely what happens is we just get bundled out straight away, like first round. But if there is just some magic where Bevo could just like do it again, but this time even bigger and better, like, because like you don't have to be the best team in the competition. You just have to have 5 game plans that you can take down a team on their day, right? Like, and Bevo has had such an inconsistent. Like every week it feels like he's got a different game plan in the last 8 or 10 weeks if you've been watching the Bulldogs or paying any attention to them. And like his 2 main things that he's been doing is he's been playing a different style almost every week, and then he's been going straight to the press conference to tell everybody that we are not a good team and we are terrible and we are a terrible team. Like, is this... I mean, Kane Corns would have to walk into the ocean if, like, he'd be vindicated. Or would he be vindicated?
He'd be vindicated.
If we won it from 10th, he'd be vindicated.
Well, it's hard to tell with Kane because you can't tell because obviously Kane and Bevo don't have a great relationship. And so it's hard to tell if Kane is saying this because he genuinely believes it or if he's just trying to rile up Bevo, just playing an absolute straight bat about it. No, I think they're the best. He's wasted, the greatest list ever gifted 20 coach, blah, blah, blah.
Of course, which is just not true. And like, we've never been the best list. Even in 2016, when we won the premiership, we weren't the best list. In 2021, when we almost won that grand final, we weren't the best list in the competition. We've never been the best list in the competition.
Well, isn't it more that you're a lopsided list? Your good are very, very, very good, and your bad are very, very, very bad.
Well, no, our bad are good 2 out of 4 times. It's just not quite enough.
Well, look, I mean, we might have to call Adam Spencer, but I'm pretty sure that makes them bad. Or, you know what? 2 out of 50%, they're mediocre.
I understand what you mean, but like if they were bad all the time, that'd almost be better.
Okay.
Because
you can drop
if they were bad all the time,
drop them and explore another option.
Never play them again. But they are bad 2 out of 4 times, and and it happens quite a lot
of that game.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
But you will after the next 2 they play badly.
But then they play a good one, so you can't drop them after that game. I get it. I know the cycle. At the St Kilda, we call that the Ryan Burns effect.
The Bulldogs' bottom 6 are all kind of people who, flirt with being really decent B grade like AFL players. And occasionally, even better than that, but also have the capacity to really look like they don't belong at the level, or they're the reason that we're not at the next level.
Well, if I didn't do this podcast, like I wouldn't have had that point of view on the Bulldogs, because you for like 2 years have been consistently, very calmly, very measured, just saying the Bulldogs are no good. And because I don't know how much of footy media you've been tuned into this year, but Jared Waitley has been sounding very Will Anderson in the last 3 months. Like he keeps Jared Waitley is like it's like a disaster movie where the scientist runs in and says, "Guys, like the cycle's repeating. This isn't a we come in peace message. This is a threat." So he's been saying, like, Joe Bradley keeps saying, has anyone been listening to Bevo's press conferences?
Yeah.
Has anyone been listening to what he has to say? Bevo has been saying to us for the last 3 months, "Hey, we're no good. I'm trying some stuff. I'm moving the magnets around, but we are no good. Can you stop saying we're good?" And it's like, oh, right, Jared Whaley is picking up on the Will Anderson vibe from 2 years ago.
Well, I'm only picking up on what Luke Beveridge, our coach, is saying publicly.
Yes.
It's you don't need to read between the lines. Look, the truth of it is that I think the Bulldogs have always had their eye on 2 years or 3 years from now as being when our list would be at it. What they're trying to build to get together would be like in the next few years. It wasn't ever going to be this year. I mean, we didn't make the finals last year. It would have been a remarkable turnaround if it turns out we were the best team in the competition. But you know what we could do?
What?
Rob everybody. We could rob everybody from 10th. And that is the Bulldog way. It is why you have to lock your car in the car park at the Whitten Oval. Like, it's the Bulldogs way to just steal it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we should be doing.
But if you steal, do you have to wait for a team to win the grand final to steal the cup, or do you steal, or do you bash the team that wins the prelim and take their place in the grand final? Like, do you still have to win the cup? You know what I'm saying? Or do you just steal the premiership cup?
Well, no, because I mean, everybody said that we, stole it last time, right? Yeah. Or had the best conditions at the best times, et cetera, right? So let's just game plan it out. Let's just assume that this is all part of Bevo's big master plan. And this is the greatest long con
ultra
in
bottom
AFL
boys
history. And while nobody else is, he understands the true DNA of the Bulldogs. And while everybody else has been fucking around, concentrating on Fremantle, and it's a classic game of distraction. This is a real now you see me scenario. And he's making you look in one direction, right?
If anyone listens to our other podcast, Toe Pop, you would know that Will is possibly the biggest fan of the Now You See, what's it called? Now You See It film franchise, the Magical Magicians film franchise. Now you see me.
And I think Bevo might be too. It would not surprise me if Bevo had recently been down the Laneway Theatre in Melbourne as part of the Melbourne Magic Festival, picking up some tricks about distraction.
Prestige.
Exactly right. And he's this entire season and Prestige style. He's had Darcy fake an injury, but he's actually been in high level training the entire time, ready to go come the finals. He's getting everybody else right. Tim English isn't
this.
Yeah, right. And Bevo right. So he just comes in, no one's paying any attention, right?
This is 2 guys, 1 cup areas. I'm so glad you're back. Because this makes 100% sense. If we're going to go conspiracy theory, how many ex-Bulldogs moved across to Fremantle in the last 10 years? 3, right? At least Murphy. Who's the other one?
Yep.
Garlic
runs the joint.
Yeah, runs the joint, right?
Yeah, no, Matthew Boyd, maybe someone definitely there was another coach there. Yeah,
a strong Bulldogs connection. Yeah. Are we saying that no conversations have been had? There's been no kind of payoff where they're like, hey, Fremantle, why don't you we'll send you our IP, we'll send you our best and our brightest. They'll help you develop that side to be a premiership threat. But here's the deal, Freo. We're going to get you to that level. But in 2026, you're going to be our patsy. This is the misdirection. This is the twin brother in the Prestige, right? No one realizes these 2 teams, it seems so there's
working together.
Zero connective tissue. There's no rivalry. There's no reason. But you and I have dug a little deeper and found out there is a connection.
Could I just build on this a little bit and suggest, because I can't see how we get Freo, have got Freo to agree to this, right? Because they need this.
They'll next have the next 3. Give us 1, you have 3. Who's going to say no to that?
What if it's more like this is a sleeper agent, inside job, the Departed style situation where we've infiltrated Fremantle to build them up this is Bevo's ultimate plan. We're building Fremantle up as a distraction for the Bulldogs to win it from 10th.
Okay. But how have you done that? And how do you control, it's all well and good. I understand this is it's kind of like you are creating a paper champion, a champion that intimidates everyone else, but you have the code to take them down.
Yeah.
So what is that? Have you beaten
Yeah,
Freo
that's
this
a good
year?
point, actually. No,
Because
absolutely not.
you don't even
They're
have a
heaps
back
better
line.
than
They have the
us.
most
They beat
fearsome
us.
forward line.
And they've got like 8 really
Three of
good
the
players
best.
in their forward line. Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
going on?
I remember there was a couple of years ago when I went to that game where we played Freo and they just smashed us, and I was like, oh, yeah, we need to avoid playing Freo. If for this plan to work, so let's game it out. If the Bulldogs finish 10th, who's most likely to finish? They're saying Adelaide, right? It's most likely that it's going to be Collingwood, Carlton, which would be amazing if it was. I think that's what I heard them saying today. That the most likely scenario would be that the Bulldogs finish 10th, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. And so you'd be taking on. You'd most likely taking the Adelaide Crows.
Yeah.
Unless
so Bulldogs go to Adelaide. Great. This is classic Bevo territory, right?
Yeah.
Last year's minor premiers at their home ground. We've already beaten them. This is one of the teams that we actually have already beaten this year. So going to Adelaide.
And you beat them in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of your best wins of the year. That's right. And there's still that bad blood because that guy, the brother who told his brother.
Yeah, the Talias. Yeah, we remember. Yeah. We never forget.
Perfect. I love it.
Right? This is pretty good. Okay, that's good first round. So if we won that wildcard round, then you play the loser of the bottom of is that what happens? What happens next in the wildcard round?
I don't know. Wouldn't the winner of the two wildcards play each other?
Basically, it goes to being an 8 then, like the classic 8, doesn't it? So it'd be 1 versus 4, like basically. So it'd be 5 versus 8.
Card? Oh, wild.
Because basically you just eliminate 2, right? So it leaves you with 8, which means you're going to do 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, 5 versus the new 8, and 7 versus.
So the highest ranked winner then takes on the 7th seed. The lower winner takes on the 8th seed. Okay, yeah. So you just play the one. Yeah, I get you. Like a rank
right.
above.
Okay, so the Bulldogs. Let's say we were the lowest. We're going in, but we beat. So Adelaide. Then who are we going to play most likely this next week then?
So at the bottom of the 6, it would be
who's in 5th and 6th?
Well, Geelong. So then would that mean you have to go to GMHBA?
Geelong.
Go
to Geelong to play Geelong, something that we're not particularly good at. Bailey Smith, this is good for us. We got that Talia stuff at Adelaide. Yeah, we got this Bailey Smith situation at Geelong. This is good. This is good for Bevo. He's really worked this out. He's gone deep on what his motivation and story can be for each of them. Okay, so let's say we beat Geelong.
Out of the remaining 5 teams, you tell me who you got the biggest beef with. Melbourne,
good.
Well, I got the grand final.
Well, Melbourne 2021, right? So that's great. Perfect.
Hawthorn, there's that imaginary beef.
Hawthorn always that beef that we have with them that they aren't aware of.
The Lions? Do you have any beef with the Lions? Marcus Adams. Marcus Adams turned his back on you guys. Oh, yeah, Josh Dunkley.
Josh Dunkley. Yeah. Didn't want to be the Bulldogs.
And then the Swans, 2016, they owe you one. So, and then Fremantle, who you have no beef with.
No connections with at all. No connections at all. Yeah, exactly. None. Absolutely none. We can't play them. They would massacre us, Fremantle.
Yeah.
But, all right. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's unlikely. But, I guess we're in now. And as you said, we did manage to tie with an informed team that really desperately needed to win or tie that game when we had
Dogs
nothing
look fucking
on the line.
good. I haven't watched a lot of them this year, apart from the first 3 rounds. But I thought the Carlton looked like they had more talent, maybe potentially the better team. But I just thought the way the Dogs played and the way that they just pressured, and when you have a team of midfielders, I guess you can do that, right? You can just run and harass all day. And then Ed Richards just was the commentators said it. It's like, Bont's out and he's like, all right, I'll be Bont for a day. What do you need? I'll be everywhere.
Well, the other thing about Richards is that he had an injury early in the season that he's now back from, but it took him a little while, as it did with Errol Goulden and as it did with these people. They have these injuries, they come back for a couple of weeks and you're like, oh, what's going on with them? And then 3 weeks later, you're like, oh yeah, they've just played 6 of the best games in a row and they're back at the form that they were in the previous season.
You know who had an almost game was Artie Jones. I think he kicked 3 behinds in that third quarter. He was so good. I haven't really paid much attention to him either. He's super tough and skillful, but yeah, he really he could have put some scoreboard pressure on in that third quarter.
I don't know if you know this, Charlie. I don't know if they mentioned
Yeah.
this in the commentary today, but he is actually flatmates with
Tell me
Cody
more.
Waitman. Yeah,
Oh,
so
really?
Cody Waitman and him actually share a house together, Charlie. It's interesting.
I didn't
And
know that.
you know what else is interesting? His name is Artie, but it is Cody that is the one who is Artie.
Is the artist.
So
He was good
look
too.
at that.
He was good too, I thought, Waitman as well. Yeah, but you didn't win. I watched a bit of the Lions. I'm going to change subject now. I watched a bit of the Lions in the Sun.
By the way, can I just say this on the Blues? I just need to, which is I like this result. I'm so sorry for you, but this result for the season, like the Blues
it's
making
good for football.
It's good for football, and they didn't win. They only got a tie. This is good. Like, it would have been bad this week, I think, after Fraser said he was going to put his hand up for the coaching job if they then lost. A tie, that's fine.
Let me just say this. Last time we did the show together, I was saying how good I felt about Carlton and, you got to love the way Josh Fraser's just, sees the day, and attractive brand of footy, and it's fun. There's a bit of energy about the place. And you cautioned me. You said, I reckon you'll get sick of it pretty quick. It turns out it only took a week. Like, I was amazed. I really thought I'd turned a corner with Blues fans, but all it took was them absolutely pantsing us for me, like, even Terry, who I respect a lot, sent me a very nice, sweet message, just sent me a broken heart. So gutted to see Naz go down. Would have been great to see the best of the Saints, blah, 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 blah. And then I go online and see him post like 1,500 memes. Like, St Kilda just being being Sylvester the cat getting run over by a truck, memes of us just being like terrible, mate. Well, that doesn't make me feel much better.
I mean, I actually think the worst thing I heard was the people saying, Carlton fans going, actually, we really wanted to play them at their best. I was like, don't patronize them. That's gross. You've been shit for ages.
It was, and so it's been a week of me being acutely aware of Blues fans having that strut back. And so I was really looking forward to the Dogs winning and me thinking about what I could say to everyone I know barracks for Carlton. So fuck me, I guess.
But what a great storyline for the season. Like Carlton have gone from where they were to where they are. It's worth having the wild card round for that, for the possibility of that. Because I just don't think there's a world in which they would have chased the final 8, even though they'll get pretty close now. And if they win the last game, they'll be right knocking on the door of it. But I don't think they would have chased it in the way that they've chased it.
Yeah, and a Carlton Collingwood wild card round. Awesome. What a great way to kick off final series. Brilliant. And Collingwood were bloody good as well. How's the fucking 2 draws, the same teams drawing twice in the season.
First time in history.
With this same scenario, with Dylan Moore having a shot on goal. Last time to tie, this time to not quite make the distance. One of the most incredible coincidences in the history of Aussie rules. And Fox Footy could not fucking aim the camera at the pivotal play where the ball dropped short. Like, every highlight package you see of it, you don't see the ball. You don't see what happens. You just hear the crowd go on. It's like this massive moment and you don't actually get to see it.
I was watching it live and I was just like, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's happened here.
It's like the last reel of Sixth Sense breaks before Bruce Willis realizes he's dead. It's like,
I'm just going to tell you one thing.
But it's like, Colin, should you help that kid?
What? What happened? Yeah, it had that vibe to it. But those two, I mean, it was, because I lived nearby, obviously, to where the game was played, and it was wild on the streets last night.
Oh, was it?
There was an energy unlike I had felt for any other game where I've been in that suburb, which is weird because I've been there for grand finals and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And
blue balls.
I think
you saw massive blue balls.
I honestly think that is what it was. I do think that when we talk about the tie and the draw, because I'm like, well, that's a fair result. I've always been a person who's been fine with the draw. But now that I live in a neighborhood that is affected by people's moods after a draw, there was more rubbish around this morning, Charlie. More people were pissing in gardens. There was an energy that people could not get out.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
Look, it's actually been there's some really good footy. Even the Freo Adelaide game was awesome. I think everyone's been hanging out for Warfy Time. Whoever gets to make the call about whether or not to do Warfy Time, like, talk about blue balls. You have got
they show a
like
restraint.
55. Sorry.
It's a restraint unprecedented in the history of AFL football.
Because it was pretty close with 10 minutes to go against Adelaide. I know they sort of kicked away, but if I was the guy in charge of pressing the Warfy Time button, I think I would have had an itchy finger at the 10-minute mark. It's like, only a couple of goals in it. Do we Warfy Time it? But when they do it, it's going to be orgasmic. 55,000 people at Optus Stadium are going to blow the roof off that place when it's
Yes,
Warfy
they've
time.
been edging their entire crowd. Like,
not even
just,
edging,
like,
they've been ghosting us. They came out and did the sexiest thing ever. And then we've been ghosting us. We've been doing, hey, can we Warfy Time? Warfy Time? Question mark. Are you up? Warfy Time? No answer.
But it's a power move, right?
So
like we're
powerful.
we don't even need Warfy Time here. We'll get this
that's
without
right.
using Warfy Time. And then we're all like, what a success for Warfy Time that it's become something that we crave. You know what I mean? It's not something that we're sick of or whatever. Yeah.
It's like in Teen Wolf when Michael J. Fox turns up to the big game, but he's not Teen Wolf. And they're like, what are you doing? Where's the wolf? And he's like, hey, guys, we don't need the wolf. The wolf is just an idea. We can do this if we play as a team. I reckon that's what – who's the captain of Freo? I don't even know. Alex Pearce. I reckon that's what he said to the guys. They said, is it time for Warfy Time, Alex? He's like, hey, guys, Warfy Time was just an idea. We are Warfy Time.
There was never an actual Warfy Time. Every time is Warfy Time.
And then one guy's like, no, there was. There's a clip of Matthew Pavlich saying it to a group of players.
And it went viral. It's like really big, guys.
Everyone knows what it is. Shut up.
It is, but I mean, I think this is one of the great, and this is, I hate when we, like, I think that it's fine to take inspiration from world sport, but when it has the quirkiness of, like, Charlie Cameron's Country Roads Take Me Home, like, I'll take a Country Roads Take Me Home over a Sweet Caroline every day. And it's the same with Warfy Time. I know it's like based on other things as well, but it feels so like the Warfy Time, even just calling it Warfy Time is like, the more I always think if we lose the personality of Australian, like in our Australian sports, like this is a game that is mostly just played in Australia. And I think the more we lean into some of that quirkiness of what it means to be an Australian and play our ridiculous sport and follow our ridiculous sport, sometimes I think we forget that it is quite ridiculous, the sport that we have invented and love to follow.
Well, this is going to sound so like Eastern side of Australia bias, but I watched the pre-game before Freo Adelaide, and I didn't know they do the whole like guitarist playing Hell's Bells.
Oh, yeah.
Drifting
Up on
into
the roof of the
long way.
stadium.
Yeah. Did you? I didn't know they did that. Like, what a fucking great way to start a game of football. Like some metalhead bogan with like support straps on the back so it doesn't blow off the top of the stadium, just like with his axe, just playing like AC/DC. And then a guy also with a support strap tied to him comes out with bagpipes. I was like, this is fantastic. I'm in.
Well, firstly, I think, Bon Scott is such a huge figure for like a tiny little man in Western Australia. And like the presence of him, particularly in Fremantle, there is that, the famous statue of him there. And like, I think that connection with that area, it feels authentic. Like, I mean, there are sporting teams all over the world that use AC/DC. Famously the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders use Thunderstruck as their like most iconic routine, right? Like it's music made to be pump up for sporting teams, but this is an area that has this legitimate story and connection to it. And also I just love that it's got that thing of like Fremantle we associate with being music and associated with music and that music vibe, but also it's Western Australian, so it's got to be a bit bogan. And somebody in a marketing meeting has like one day just gone, what should we do in pre-game? And someone else has gone, what if a guy was playing like AC/DC on the roof of the stadium and everyone just high-fived and went to lunch? Yeah.
I call that Wolfie Time. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's awesome. And I just love, like, I love that Freo have, like, it's that Patrick, have you seen enough of Patrick Voss this year to know, like, what the controversy is around him. Like there's people who
I've
hate him,
heard-
and I ordinarily I buy into the pest mythology. You know, I hate like a Tom Papley, I hate like a Hayden Ballantyne or whatever. But there's something about Patrick Voss and the way he does it, which feels so heelish, so like WWE, like purposely self-aware bad guy, like that. I can't take it seriously. Even when he plays against the Saints, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I like the way this guy's been a dick.
Yeah, I love a pest in general as a character in the sort
Do you
of
though?
broad...
Do you love to hate or do you love a pest? Or both?
Interesting question. Both. I
Yeah.
think I both love and love to hate a pest.
Yeah, same.
And I love nothing more than a little, like particularly a little arrogant. I think the fact that Voss is a bit bigger makes him your non-typical pest, I think, right?
Yeah,
like
prancing
normally we
pony.
associate your pests with your mosquito fleet, your sort of, your little dog that has to have a big bark. That's generally, like your Tom Papleys of the world or whatever, where you're like, yeah, you're a tiny little man and you're playing a sport for big men and you need to yaply all over the place to remind people that you're there. And I'm up for that. I think that's a good part of the game. And we've got so many small forwards with that great flair in the game at the moment who are both like pests in the traditional sense, which was like almost like felt a bit negative, like it was more about putting the opposition off or whatever. But my favorite pests have always been the ones that are also excellent, like players in their own right.
Good craft.
But also have that level of pest.
Yeah, Dudley is quietly having a pretty good year as well. That goal he kicked was awesome. The one where he bought like around 3 players off one step was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen very much football this year, but what I have seen has been filled with highlights. I mean, even today, that Hayward mark, like during, was
his
incredible,
ankle.
right? Yeah, I mean, sure. Like you pay a price.
How was that moment when Artie Jones laid that big tackle and stood over him and did the flex and then like kicked it straight to Carlton because Harry Dean spoiled it off the next play and then did the flex back. It's like, what's going on? This is great.
And I'm up for that. Like,
yeah, me too.
Why not make the game entertaining? Like both the game itself, but also the playing and the performing of the game. I enjoy that.
Something infuriated me, and I don't know why, during the the Q Clash Lions and the Suns, because I was watching it to about halftime, and it was pretty close, and then I had to go meet a friend for dinner, and so I was listening to it, and I listened to the Lions just run away with it. By the way, turns out Will Ashcroft quite good at football. Like
his last 6 weeks have been like they were listing off the statistics and I was like, you have had a bananas run.
It's not even 100 games yet. It's like 60 something games, 2 Norm Smiths. He's won 2 Marcus Ashcroft.
His dad's medals. Dad won your medal again.
Better than his dad. If he's won his dad's own medal twice.
I'm twice as good as you, Dad.
Yeah, it's like, tell Mum I'll be sleeping in the parents' bed tonight. I'm the man of the house now, Dad.
I mean, it's tough for Levi at this point, isn't it? When Will's just walking around. Yeah.
Who is? Like, Josh Dacos is an excellent footballer. This is the fucking gutting part. Is Josh Dacos, if there was no Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos would be one of the best players at Collingwood. But he's
a former All-Australian player,
He's a fucking gun. And I think Levi's in the same boat. Levi, it's the Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan dynamic, isn't it? It's like, well, in isolation, both excellent players. It's just one is much more excellent and you play in the same team.
And it is interesting to me that, I mean, I guess he's only 21, but I'm interested that he's stuck with that same look, I will say, just to bring it into Two Guys, One Cup
He-Man kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that real kind of old school Gary Ayres style, like not a modern mullet and real kind of Lord of the Jungle or something like that sort of vibes. Like,
yeah, totally. Anyway, there's a moment in the game because I listened on the radio and I listened to Brisbane run over the Suns, and I can't remember who the commentator was, but they made this kind of comment about the Suns that you normally hear about Richmond or West Coast, where they're like, "Oh, look, their endeavour's been fantastic, but they just lacked polish." And I'm like, how can this fucking team that is comprised almost entirely of top 10 draft picks or high value trade-ins be lacking polish. It doesn't make sense. Like these are the cream of the crop. Like I will not accept that comment about Gold Coast. It doesn't make any sense. For St Kilda, yes, any team 13th and under, because they're all fighting for the scraps, but Gold Coast have been handed everything. It's not that we can't be accepting good endeavour, but they lack polish. They're all polish.
Yeah,
Not
I mean, I hear
polish.
what you.
Polish.
I mean, that is a new direction. With an entire team from Poland.
They're all
They're not
Polish.
I don't know. Like, there's nothing in this season, right? Like, there's nothing left for them. They weren't playing for anything, Gold Coast. So it's
Pride.
It's hard.
They've never won a Q clash. Bragging rights, as they say.
Yeah, but I mean, like in this season, if the one thing that you had at the end of it, from the Gold Coast's perspective, was bragging rights, then I mean, it's almost worse than having nothing at all, right? Like if all you had was, oh, you know what? You know, we had a terrible season. We finished 13th, but we did beat the eventual 3-time premiers. So
yeah, that's the worst. Well, this is why I
Yeah.
think St Kilda, it's been such a disappointing St Kilda year, is that we don't even have that because we haven't beaten anyone above us. Like, nor ordinarily, even in an ordinary year, you can think back to one game where you had the best weekend ever because you beat a team above you. It was an upset win. It was a gritty comeback. It was a backs against the wall victory. We didn't have any of those this year. We got really close about 5 or 6 times, like in the Sydney case, literally down to the last 10 seconds. But I was just in the Saint chat before saying, I can't remember having like a year being as disappointing as this. Maybe like 2018 where we won 4 games when we were expected to at least push for finals. But this year has just been like, if you asked me for a highlight from this year, I couldn't give you one. I can't remember any game that was like, awesome. Can't wait to watch the replay of that.
we beat Brisbane in round 1.
The first 3 games
That's it.
were good for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, but the Brisbane was the real scalp.
Well, Adelaide was good.
Obviously they were. Yeah. Well, maybe. Who knows if Adelaide are any good or not. At least we know that Brisbane are good, even though they were like on a long, they'd obviously played a lot more football than everybody else over the last,
Adelaide could finish top 4
4 or 5 years.
So I don't think Adelaide are bad. And Adelaide at home are like you'd say
We just
2
don't
goals.
know yet about Adelaide, I think.
That's funny.
Based on last year in the finals, and then this year just kind of still being, I just don't know. They haven't really beaten a lot of good teams.
Right.
Who's their
Yeah, I
third
guess.
best player?
So Dawson's their best, Rankin their second best.
Yeah, who's their
And
third
then,
best?
Phil Thorpe.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had a
Phil-
great season.
Well, hasn't he been like carrying an injury most of the year?
Yeah,
And then
well, okay.
what's his face? The other one, cocky guy, cocky 80s hero, cocky 80s guy who plays Rochelle.
Yeah, but he's had a patchy season. He's had some good games and some bad games.
Yeah, I get you.
I
They're
think
in that kind of middle of the...
I think they've done well, considering that they don't have an all-star team.
Yeah, I guess so. But would you say that about the Cats and the Pies?
The Cats have got more stars, although their stars are aging. Like, obviously, but they've got other stars as well. Pies have got Nick Dacos and then a bunch of, like, other people, right? Like,
I think where the Pies are good is...
Yeah.
The Pies, I think, have got a larger spread of B to B plus players than most other teams. I think there's a bit of a drop off, and their top end's obviously excellent. But what they're good at is their middle class players, I reckon.
Yeah, and Craig McRae's got his real, like, quirky vibe back. Like when he was celebrating
on
the
the
draw,
draw.
I'm like, this is classic McRae. This is the guy who took them to the premiership.
It is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
he's such a good coach in the sense of, like, he feels unique, doesn't he? Like, in the same way Fagan feels unique. Like, you can't duplicate what Chris Fagan brings. Like, you can maybe copy the game plan, but that energy, the grandfatherly energy, the way he relates and the way he develops young players is very specific to him. And I'd say the same thing about Craig McRae, that kind of Ted Lasso optimism and positivity and the message he sells. Like whenever he talks about the club and the team, it's very family language, like us, we, the buy-in, backing their players, just never wanting them to leave, like it's just, I can totally see why he's a premiership coach, because like who wouldn't want to play for that guy? It's like
Right.
he's
And
like
then next year
the
they
best
could have
version of
Lockie
your
Neal.
dad possible, eh?
And then next year they could have Lockie Neal and Zach Butters maybe, right? Like, and then suddenly if you had Dacos, Butters and Lockie Neal and the rest of what they've got, they'd be a
Where are
very,
you,
very
where are
good
you going
team.
if you're Zach Butters? If he's definitely leaving Port, so you got to choose between. So I think they say what, Geelong, Melbourne, Dogs, Pies, Tigers. Tigers offering the most money, 16 mil.
Yeah, Tigers offering the most, which makes sense, I think. But why would he go to the Tigers? Like, surely he's got to go somewhere there's at least a chance that he's going to have some, a chance.
Well, why
of
would he go to
winning the
Tigers?
premiership, right?
For the money? That would be the reason.
Yeah, but here's what he's going to get wherever he goes: money. Like, if he wants money, what he should do is go to Tasmania and say, I'll be your key marquee signing for your $5 million and I'll just keep playing at Port for another year, like in between, like.
That's a great
if
idea.
you really want to
call his agent. Will, that's fucking genius.
Right?
That's really smart.
I mean, but if that's
that
what
way
he wanted,
gets his farewell game at Port Adelaide, which has been robbed of this year. One more year just to kind of pay back the club that believed in him and supported him, and then fucking make
and then go be the $5 million marquee signing in Tasmania. So, yeah, I mean, if you want money, I think he's going to get money wherever he goes. Port Adelaide have the capacity to match the deal, so I think it's going to be what club can give something to Port Adelaide. What did Port Adelaide want? What do they need?
I mean, 3 first rounders, like 1 top 10 and then 2 first rounders, I would say.
Yeah.
Can you get that done? What can the Dogs give him?
I don't know.
More Rory Lobb in a Trojan horse inside a Trojan horse.
Yeah, I don't know what we can do. I don't. I mean, our Bulldogs most compelling. I think Bulldogs. There's 2 things I think you could make a compelling argument about Butters at the Bulldogs is that he grew up following the Bulldogs, and I think that does mean something. If you're choosing between 3 or 4, and one of them was a team that you grew up supporting, and the rest of the stuff was pretty similar, say you're within 100, like say you're getting the difference between being paid 1.7 and $2 million a year is a lot over the terms of contract. But by the time you pay your tax and et cetera, it's not like if you're making that much money anyway, and you had the choice to go to somewhere you really wanted to go, then you get to play with Bontempelli if he wants to play with, the greatest Bulldog, but also
would you sweeten
at a
it
time
and
where
say,
he can become the gun?
Yeah, exactly. And not only the gun, but I reckon you'd say to him, look, Bont is probably got 4 or 5 years left. We're going to need a new captain. You're going to be captaining your childhood team. Like, could you promise him the captaincy once Bond's ready to give it up?
Well, I think you absolutely promise him what he wants to be like part of, and I think Bond ends up being a forward probably. You start playing in the midfield with Bond and you end your career kicking it to Bond. Like, it's a pretty good.
Does Bond ever play in that team as not captain though?
I mean, if Bond will do, there's no world in which Bond shouldn't be the highest paid or second highest paid player in the competition, and he won't even be the highest paid player at the Bulldogs, right? He's the greatest Bulldog, but he's fine. Bond's fine. The cafe's doing well. He's done a few ads. Bond's fine. He's invested his money wisely. Bond's fine. He's the most employable post-football person in any capacity, probably playing in the game at the moment. The Bond is fine. And I think that he is the ultimate team man, that if it meant that he would be able to have that success that he craves. The great thing about Bond is he's not going to need to be the number 1 guy, right? And if you go to Collingwood, there's just no world that Nick Dacos isn't the number 1 guy. Now, I think if he goes to Collingwood, watch out the rest of the competition, because I think Butters and Dacos together would just be like real hard for like the rest of the competition to deal with. So, but if you go to Collingwood, you don't get to be like that guy. You'd never get to be Nick Dacos. Maybe he doesn't want that, but it's Collingwood. You get to play at the MCG in front of 80,000 every week. And then you don't have to change your colours from Port Adelaide. You can wear the prison bar stripes still. Yeah. Geelong, obviously we all know the appeal of Geelong, right? But
hanging out with Bailey Smith, drink cards with Bailey Smith. Is that the appeal of Geelong?
I mean, it feels like unless he really wants to live in Geelong, like he wants to have that Geelong lifestyle. I don't
I
know
just don't
why.
understand how Geelong could afford to pay him what he would need. I understand what you're saying. He's not going for money, but you still got to pay him like
Yeah.
he's got to be the second or third highest player. Geelong can't possibly squeeze him in when they've got Bailey Smith, Danger, Rich Stanley.
I mean, Geelong of all people seem to have a remarkable capacity to squeeze people in, Charlie. It is.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, some of those older players, I think Danger and those guys maybe are on, like, or will be on reduced contracts. So I think it's a way you can make it work.
They were probably on front loaded.
Yeah.
Melbourne
that's
is
right.
an attractive prospect, especially the way they're playing.
Yeah.
Like if he wants a flag, and I think he looks like he would slot beautifully into that midfield. If you're talking about being the guy, he would definitely be the guy at Melbourne. They have
compelling to have
midfielders.
Max Gawn tap it down to you regularly, isn't it? Like for a next couple of
Jack
years.
Steele putting up a big screen for you so you can just get to work, dishing it out to you. Like, I think
he's been. By the way, how good? I mean, I know you'd be.
No, I'm on. No, don't have to. You don't have to apologize. Like, I'm happy for Jack Steele. It's funny. Damien Barrett, he posted. You know how he does his sliding doors on AFL.
Mm-hmm.
He did this sliding doors. It was a St Kilda sliding doors, but the photo is of Jack Steele. And he wrote, if the Saints had been prepared to back their captain of the previous 5 seasons and not discard him as part of their brazen big dollar recruiting spree last year, then the 2026 season would have unfolded far better than it has. Meanwhile, Jack Steele has been playing a massive role in Melbourne's extraordinary story. All right. Okay. Sure. I get it. But our midfield has been the one positive to take out of this year. The fact that Hugo Garcia, Naz, Max Hall have become as good as they are is because Jack Steele had to step aside. This should be a win-win.
I was watching the Saints and I was going, who the fuck is this Max Hall guy?
Oh, yeah,
because I haven't been watching the Saints. And he is real good, right?
Yeah, he'll look great in a Tassie jumper in 2 years' time. They did an article on him about 2 months ago where they were like, shy country boy just loves getting away to the family farm away from weekends. And he's like, I don't like thinking about football. I'm like, fuck. He's going to Tassie, isn't he?
Like hiking up mountains and eating apples.
Because I was like, he just... Because whenever we've talked about Tassie, you're always like, it'll be great for the old school country footballer who just wants to play footy and can't be stuffed with any of the... Like you couldn't have written this article any more perfectly to describe that kind of player. Just loves playing footy, had to come off a rookie list, didn't get drafted in his first years, has done it the hard way, simple bloke, just loves playing footy, loves being around his mates, also loves going to a farm. It's just like...
And you know what he also loves? Cadbury chocolate, the proud sponsor of the club.
And he's just getting good. Like he's just getting good when Tassie are coming into the competition. So... Yeah, he is
good though. Like, and I think it is a win-win. And I hate this. Am I wrong? And I probably am wrong, like because I don't pay enough attention. But who did the Saints recruit last season? The De Koning,
Jack Silvani,
and
Liam Ryan. What?
And Liam Ryan. Okay, yeah, but that's
Liam
not
Ryan and Sam Flanders from the Gold Coast, but he did his Achilles halfway through the season.
It's not exactly a high-priced recruit. Like, I mean, I know they paid Naz a lot of money to stay, but that shouldn't be counted in this. I think it's wrong when people say the Saints went on this massive spending spree. I know they overpaid for De Koning, but that is, we all know why and how that happened and whatever. But the money for Naz was just to get him to stay. It wasn't to recruit him. Everyone talks as if they got all these recruits, and you're like, no, they just paid a guy to stay.
Yeah, and last I checked, we paid the salary cap. We didn't pay any more than any other club. We just allocated our money in a different way. And I also think a lot of those contracts are front-loaded anyway. So we saved our cap for 3 or 4 years, spent and offered out these big front-end contracts. So in 3 or 4 years, we're going to have money again. So I don't know.
Now, something I did see that escaped the... sort of social media ecosystem onto the pages of news.com.au or the Herald Sun was Jack
Bailey
Sinclair
Smith taking a selfie in a mirror with some girl.
That also made it to my attention. But in similar circumstance, well, not similar circumstance, like I saw Jack Sinclair proposed to his partner
Mm.
amid what the young people would call a fit check. So they were going out to dinner, doing a little outfit check, and she's like talking to the camera TikTok style, doing a little
Right.
fit check, turns around, and there's Jack in the background
On one knee.
proposing.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I
I
didn't
don't
see
know.
that.
He's out with an injury, isn't he? So I don't feel
Calf injury too. Jeez, get off your knees.
Yeah, so yeah.
Well, you know a little
Yeah,
bit of
you didn't
trivia
say
about
that.
Jack Sinclair. Do you know what his side hustle is?
No.
He makes hats,
Yeah.
not
okay.
caps.
What sort of hats?
Like fancy hats, like milliner
Yeah.
type hats, like Akubras and Stetsons and stuff. He
Yeah.
makes hats and he sells them.
He turns out seems to be a lot more sort of fashionable a dude than I had pegged him for, having watched him play football.
Totally.
He's got this kind of like much more modern vibe than I imagined.
How are footballers these days compared to when we grew up? Like the kind of things that footballers did on the side when we grew up. And you look at someone like Cody Waitman now and like, this is fucking crazy that this guy, mega talented artist, really interesting guy, deep thinker, also professional footballer. Like it's just, you got to understand if you're a younger listener, when we grew up, footballers had side jobs, but it was normally like butcher, plumber.
Yeah, electrician. They would go to a tradie job and then they wouldn't be an artist. They wouldn't be a milliner. Like if you came into the football
Making
club
hats.
and announced to the other men that you were a milliner, you would be bashed to almost your death. Things have improved. It does get better.
Yeah. All right, let's read a bit of mail because we've got actually, I think we'll save some of this mail for when we get into finals and there's less games to talk about because we've got I've been saving letters for the whole year. So some of these go back as far as May, but they're timeless questions. They're very much in the spirit of Two Guys, One Cup. But we did get a bit of mail just today, in fact. So if you wanted to send us some mail, you can. There is a link in the episode notes. It's Two Guys, One Cup Two Guys, One Cup AFL at gmail.com. What are you laughing at?
I just love the it's and then is it?
Okay, this is from a person you might have heard called Adam Spencer. A press release on Tuesday, the 11th of August. Jake Lloyd to go again. Sydney Swan stalwart Jake Lloyd will play on in 2027 after reaching a trigger in his contract to go into a 15th AFL season. So as Spence points out, he's probably going to be the second fastest player to get to 300 games in AFL history. Another brilliant Two Guys, One
to
Cup
identify
prediction.
him in a lineup. Yeah, I mean, still nondescript though, I would say.
Well, I mean, he's the guy with the mustache, right?
Yeah. But who isn't these days?
That's a good point. Jack Steele.
I reckon like back in the day, well, maybe he was I reckon he was one of the earlier people to be rocking the mustache, like in these modern day times. And now it seems to be everywhere.
I think that is probably right. This is from Pip. Hey, Charlie and Will. Round 23 is not over yet, and there have been some records broken. Okay. Number one, Chris Fagan has coached a record number of games for the Lions over the entire Brisbane and Fitzroy history.
It's incredible.
Like the very first game he ever coached, Brisbane defeated Gold Coast. Amazing. In true Fags fashion, he says, geez, doesn't feel right to have broken Lee Matthews' record because Lee had been such a great mentor to him. And in typical Lethal fashion, he reminded Fags that while Fags has the coaching record, he has a statue.
Yeah. Statue. And player of the last century.
Player of the century.
And also a premiership at Collingwood as well.
Also, Saturday night, the Magpies and the Hawks draw yet again. This marks the first time two teams have drawn with each other twice in the same season. Perhaps Adam Spencer can tell us what the probability was, how many other strange things are more likely to happen. There you go, Adam. You got some homework for next week. Number three, I have a suggestion for a sequel. This is more of a Tofop question. Tofop Crack That Pack Sugar Hit segment called Two Guys, One Cupcake. Instead of taste testing biscuits, you can sample different cupcake flavors. It could be homemade or professionally baked. Red velvet takes on salted caramel. What do you think, Will? When we're really desperate for content, do we compare cupcakes?
What about 2 guys, 1 cup of soup? Just keep it simple. Maybe a wintry treat for the football season, you know?
Number 4, finishing with some performance-based club pun names. Hawthorn, more like Drawthorn.
Oh, that's good, actually. That's actually pretty good. Is there a chance that Hawthorn play Collingwood in a final? Because that is a great third match of the season, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
There must be a scenario when that happens. But yeah, that could definitely happen because Collingwood will be wild card, Hawthorn will be in the finals. So wouldn't that be amazing? How much do you think, and I don't bet and gamble responsibly and all that, but how much do you think you could win if you put money down
Paying
now?
for a tie again.
Yes. I mean, I guess they would only float the odds when the next match. But what do you think? Do you think it would be like shorter odds than normal if it turns out that
they've
done it twice? Yeah,
I guess you're assessing form lines, right?
Yeah.
Well, like you would guess how the teams go against each other to work out. And I guess if they are going into a game where you've played 2 full games during the season and at the end of each of them you've ended up being on the same score, you'd be going into that game. I mean, but the odds of it being a tie again, I mean, it's only happened once in the history of AFL, VFL football, right? So in one season. So for it to happen a third time in a
it's
match
still
that
got to be
can't
shorter
be
odds
decided
than.
by.
I'd like to see it in comparison to the other finals that are playing. You tipping a draw in that one, whether or not the odds would be shorter for the Collingwood Hawthorn game. Again, gamble responsibly.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, they probably would be because teams would be coming in with bigger differentials, right?
Yeah.
For the idea of like what the margin would be because they set margins
based
in games
on
all the time, right? Yeah. And so if your form line is that you've played each other twice with no discernible result, then it's got to be closer than 2 teams that have played each other twice and there's like a measurable distance between them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, again,
but
Adam
Spencer could absolutely tell us whether we are talking absolute shit because he has a great Substack that people should subscribe to where he sends out like these maths problems and descriptions, like things about the world of science and mathematics and AI, and it's really interesting.
Well, how about this? If Adam writes in next week answering our questions, we will put a link to his Substack in the show notes for next week's episode. There you go, Adam.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, often he'll do a little, statistical thing where he'll get you to guess what the answer is or like try to work out what the answer is. And I'm not great at that. So I probably everything that I just said was bullshit.
If you want to support the show, we have a Patreon. When you go there, you get early episodes of all the shows on the Everyone Relax Network. You get them ad-free as well. Plus, for 2 Guys, 1 Cup fans, every Thursday, I read out the teams list, teams and tips. We do a live stream, so you can come in there, join the chat. It's a lot of fun. Also do a live stream for other podcast, TOFOP on a Friday. It's the Friday live stream. And to join, all you have to do is sign up to our Patreon. Will, have you got shows coming up? What's going on with you?
I'm done.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Thank you to everybody who came out and saw all my shows. But yes, please support this network, Everyone Relax, and all the other shows that we do here. There's a whole bunch of new philosophies that I've recorded, some really good ones in the last few weeks and some nice ones coming up as well. And our regular show, TOFOP, and the show that you do with Guy, the name of the video store. Great episodes of those shows up in the feed all the time. So, maybe you only listen to this one, but there might be other things that you want to have a listen to as well.
Will and I will be getting together this very week to record a whole batch of brand new episodes. So you can check that out wherever you get your podcast. But that is it for this week. One more round of this torturous season to go. Play on.
It's felt
15.
okay for me. I haven't been here much. Ball.
Little footy-loving dickheads, dreaming about a Premiership Cup. We love our clubs, but they never win. 2 flags in 100 years. That shit house. If you think we'll be insightful, clever, or just well-researched, we're here to say that's not the case. We'll just go out and wing it. We are 2 guys, 1